Beau Is Afraid is written and directed by Ari Aster, and there are a few directors that I follow with such a passion as him. I think every single one of his movies so far has been amazing and just absolutely disturbing and unique in very important ways. And this movie is not different from those movies. I think Beau Is Afraid has a lot to offer in the terms of the madness that Ari Aster's movies are known for, especially Midsummer, Hereditary, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. I think this one has a lot of that, but it's also very unique from the other movies from this director. I think this one has a lot of different things, and it is also his longest movie until now. It's 3 hours long, but I gotta say that not a single minute was wasted in the movie. I think from beginning to end, it's just an entertaining, surreal, disturbing, and just absolutely amazing journey. And I'm really excited to talk about it because it's definitely one of my favorite movies of all year. And I couldn't watch it until now. I was gonna watch it in a movie theater, but before I could see it, they took it off, so I had to wait a couple months until it came out in digital. But now that I've seen it, I'm really excited to review it. So what the hell is Beau Is Afraid actually about? I think if you see the trailers, you might not get an idea what the movie is. And I gotta say, now that I've seen the movie, I don't really understand what the movie was about. It's just a really surreal and disturbing journey. So the movie introduces you to the main character, Beau Wassermann, who is played by Joaquin Phoenix in a very brilliant way. I gotta say, it offers some of his best acting. I think he's just a great actor. And in this movie, he plays a very paranoid man who lives in his own apartment alone. And one day he has to go visit his mother who lives in another city. So in the beginning of the movie, he misses his flight because of some really serious mishaps that happening in the beginning of the movie. And just from the start, it's just really just a surreal adventure. And over the course of the movie, after he misses that flight, he encounters like stranger and stranger things that keep happening to him, and some things that are very unfortunate, really strange. And just like the entire movie is just like this weird psychedelic surreal experience that even the viewer gets dragged into it. And I'm surprised at how well they executed it. Even if the movie is 3 hours long, I feel like from each scene to each scene, it feels like a different episode from a TV show. Like if they could made the movie a series of like 20-minute sections, I think it would have worked also really well. The movie has a lot of very important themes, very important like subtext. Like you have to really pay attention to some of the things that happen. It deals with a lot of psychological issues, especially within Beau and Beau's mind. I feel like it centers around his character, his past, like how the movie just jumps for like from the past to the present to the future. Especially in one scene, which is like this like outdoor theater, who focuses on his own past and how it relates to him. I think it was really brilliantly done, and I just love that entire sequence. So from now on, I'm going to spoil some things. So if you haven't seen the movie, beware that I'm going to spoil it, because I need to talk about some of the plot to see like how well they executed each part. So basically in the beginning of the movie, Beau like misses his flight. Then he like goes to buy some stuff at the store. And when he comes back, he like accidentally like he leaves the door open because he lives in a very dangerous area. And I gotta say, like the beginning of the movie is just so insane. It appears that Beau lives inside GTA because it is just absolutely wild, like people dying everywhere. And that initial sequence is just full of that like Ari Aster style of like really disturbing stuff, like people screaming and like crazy stuff happening. And also like the music and cinematography goes really well with that. I just love that style so much, and it is just really amazing. And these people trash his room. He becomes very upset, and there's a really amazing and funny scene in the bathtub where he's taking a bath and there's a guy like in the ceiling, and he's just like standing there, and then a spider like goes over his mouth. And that spider actually was like for it just doesn't happen like because it just happens. Like that spider was like hinted at before, so like the whole scene just is just really intense and funny. Like people said this was like Ari Aster's funny movie. I could see why they did that. Like there were scenes like that that just made me go like, oh god, this is just so crazy that I just can't help but laugh. He falls in the bathtub, he runs around naked, and then he gets hit by a car. And just like, and then from that goes to the next section. From there, he meets this couple with a daughter who take care of him. They stitch his wounds, take care of him for like a couple days. And that leads to some other interesting scenes, like his relationship with the daughter, like how he's trying to make sense of everything that happens, like why he missed the flight. And also, like during these scenes, he gets a call that his mother is actually dead and that they're going to have a funeral and they need him to be there. So from there, the movie takes some really dark paths, but this is all necessary for the overall narrative. And during this period, he like his interactions with the daughter and the parents, especially after like a really intense drug trip, which like offers a really like interesting scene where he is like a child. It's basically a flashback to his like childhood where he met this girl, and that leads to like also reveal some problems with his mother that he has. And also this theme of like motherhood and like fatherhood and who Beau is present throughout the whole movie. So it's basically like this very Freudian topic that like people he has like some very intense feelings of hatred towards his mother, but also like he loves her, and that relates to his relationships as a child, as an adult. Like it might explain how like why he feels lonely, why he feels paranoid and anxious. And also I understood like those topics, and I think like over a second watch they will become much more clear. But that's kind of like the sentiment I got from the movie. And as the movie goes by, like these topics become more intense. Like he goes like back through memories. Like he like the topic of fatherhood, like relating to Beau's own fatherhood and the kids he would have had in the future, is very intense. Like that keeps like building up throughout the movie. And also like the ending scene where he reaches the house and he encounters like this giant thing. I won't describe what it is, but basically that has like other I guess kind of Freudian implications. I guess like I just found a lot of like sense in those kind of explanations. You have to ask Ari Aster because I have no idea, but that's pretty much what I understood from the movie. So yeah, those scenes were really disturbing. But it was disturbing in a smart way. I feel like this movie overall, like relating to Beau's like awkwardness, the way he relates to the world, the way he relates to other people, this has a lot of overlapping themes that I enjoyed. And I honestly, while watching the movie, like it made more sense towards the end, especially like the ending is kind of anticlimactic in a way I wish they would have explained, or maybe I have to understanding further with another watch. But I feel like the ending could have wrapped itself better, like especially when the mother appears again and talks to Beau, and basically he doesn't understand if he hates her, if he loves her, how it relates to his past, like the way the people around him were like screaming at him. I don't understand what that was supposed to mean. But overall, I feel like the movie just does a lot of really good things. I feel like it's entertaining too. Like it's not boring. There's a lot of things that the movie does over the course of the 3 hours that keep you interested. And like I said, that scene in the outdoor theater was just like really, really amazing. I think it lasts like 30 minutes, but it's overall just a beautiful trip. It has like a lot of beautiful scenes too. Like it mixes like beauty, horror, like comedy, like a lot of disturbing, surreal stuff. And it just does it in a way that I guess I really connected. I get like not many people will connect with the movie. Like a lot of people will find it like very intense or like strange, like, but I feel like for me, and the way I understand art, I feel like it just made a lot of sense. And for me personally, I guess this is a very subjective part of the review, but I think like subjectively, it just made a lot of sense for me, and it really connected with a lot of things that I understand. Also because it deals with topics that I wonder about every once in a while. For example, like love, like personal anxieties, depression, sexuality is a big topic in the movie, like the way Beau relates to sex and relates to relationships. And I guess that made a sense like in a lot of ways. I feel like these topics, the more you analyze them, the more you understand how the movie handled them. So I guess I really enjoyed it, and it just was an entertaining movie. I think Beau Is Afraid is just really good, and honestly, like it might not be for everybody. Like Ari Aster's other films, like the way, for example, Midsummer deals with also like with themes of anxiety, of like kind of like relationships, toxic relationships. That's a really like the major theme of Midsummer, in the same way that like mother son relationships are kind of a theme in Beau Is Afraid. That's kind of like the feeling I got from it. And also Hereditary has like also like the big family thing is also huge in Hereditary. And I guess what we have to understand this is like Ari Aster kind of like shows us like the effects of like fucked up families have on psychology in those relationships. And I guess these movies have a really awesome way of explaining that. So overall, I like the movie. I think it has a lot of really great stuff in it. I just liked it so much, and I want to watch it again because it's I think it was just a very smart movie with a lot of interesting topics, and it was also entertaining. So overall, I'm gonna give Beau Is Afraid a 90 out of 100. I feel like it was just good. I think the 3 hours were just right for the movie. I feel like anything over that would have been pushing it too much. But I just liked it, and I think it did a good job with the time and the topics it covered. So yeah, those are pretty much most of my thoughts of Beau Is Afraid. I feel like with a second rewatch, I'm gonna get like more things to think about. But yeah, overall, it's one of the best movies of the year in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for today. So if you like this review, again, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.